Have you ever felt like your work life is just a constant battle against chaos? You're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dive into Marie Kondo and Scott Sonenshein's joy at work, and we're going to uncover a really simple but super powerful idea that transforming your professional life, it all begins with tidying up. And trust me, we're not just talking about your desk. Does this slide feel a little too real? I mean, that feeling of drowning in files, battling an inbox that literally never sleeps, and walking out of meetings more confused than when you walked in? Yeah, it's a super common struggle, and it's draining our creativity and energy in ways we probably don't even realize. And this quote, wow, it gets right to the heart of the whole thing. The authors make this really powerful argument. There's an unbreakable link between the clutter in our environment and the clutter in our heads. So that mess on your desk, it's not just a mess, it's a mirror, and it's reflecting a scattered, unfocused mind. So, how do we get from that chaos to some real clarity? Well, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll uncover the hidden costs of clutter. Then, we'll dive into that revolutionary idea of sparking joy at work. We'll get practical with tidying up both our physical and digital spaces. And then, we're going to expand our thinking beyond the desk. And finally, we'll see how it all leads to the ultimate prize, finding genuine joy in what we do. Okay, so what's the real price we pay for all this mess? It's not just about losing a few minutes here and there. Kondo and Sonenshein argue that the biggest cost is our mental energy. You know, we blame the work itself for our burnout, but a lot of the time, the real culprit is the chaotic environment we've let ourselves work in. Now, this slide introduces a fascinating concept, decision fatigue. Just think about it for a second. Every tiny choice, which email should I open first? Which file do I need? Where did I save that document? It's like a small withdrawal from your mental energy bank. And by the time you get to the big, important tasks that really matter, your account is already overdrawn. This illustration just captures the transformation perfectly. Marie Kondo tells the story about a client who was just constantly exhausted, totally unable to focus. The solution wasn't some new productivity app. It was simply clearing his desk of everything that didn't spark joy. And the results? A huge surge of mental clarity that he hadn't felt in years. All right, so if clutter is the problem, what's the solution? Well, it all comes down to this one simple question. Does it spark joy? But what does that really mean in a professional context? It's not just about what makes you smile. And here's the key shift in thinking we have to make. At work, joy is all about function and purpose. You have to ask yourself, does this tool make my job easier? Does this file actually help me achieve my goals? Does this task give me a sense of accomplishment? If it enhances your efficiency, your purpose, or your positive energy, then yes, it sparks joy. This is such a brilliant example of joy in action. A client was juggling 4 messy, incomplete diaries, and he thought he was being organized. But in reality, it was just creating more stress. So by asking that one simple question, which one sparks joy? He was able to choose a single high-quality notebook. That one decision brought him immediate mental peace and, you guessed it, clarity. Okay, now that we have the mindset down, it's time to roll up our sleeves. Let's get practical and tackle the 2 biggest culprits of workplace chaos, the physical stuff and the digital stuff. For all that paper clutter, the system is wonderfully simple. Every single document goes into one of these 3 piles. But here's the shocking part. The authors found that a staggering 80% of office paper clutter falls into that last category, never needed. We're just drowning in paper just in case, but that case almost never comes. We can see physical clutter, right? But digital clutter, that's the silent killer of our focus. Because it's invisible, we just let it pile up and up. But those thousands of unread emails and all those confusingly named folders, they're creating this constant, low-level hum of anxiety every single time we log on. Just consider the software engineer with a desktop that had over 200 icons. He thought his laptop was just getting slow, but the real bottleneck was his own mind, struggling to navigate the chaos. After a digital declutter, he was amazed to find that not only was his laptop faster, but his thinking was faster too. Kind of makes you wonder what's hiding on your own desktop, doesn't it? But what about the clutter we can't see? This is where the Joy at Work method goes way beyond our desks and into the intangible parts of our jobs, our meetings, our schedules, and even our own mental habits. Let's talk about the biggest time suck in most offices, meetings. Before you schedule another one, just ask this one powerful question. What is the purpose? If there's no clear answer, cancel it. And if there is, demand a clear agenda, a strict time limit, and concrete action points at the end. It's really time to transform meeting chaos into focused clarity. Now, we need to go a layer deeper, to the clutter we can't see, but we feel every single day. Emotional clutter. Yeah, this is the heavy stuff. The limiting beliefs, the fear of failure, the nagging self-doubt that can hold us back more than any messy desk ever could. This quote comes to life with a really powerful story. An entrepreneur kept a rejection letter from years ago in his desk. Every single time he opened that drawer, it was a reminder of failure. Marie Kondo's advice was so simple, but so profound. What holds you back has no place in your growth. He tore up the letter, and with it, he let go of years of emotional weight. And all of this brings us to the heart of it all. Because this whole process, tidying our desks, our inboxes, even our minds, it's not really about being neat. It's a tool for achieving something much, much bigger. And here it is, the ultimate goal. We're not just aiming for a clean office. We're aiming for a clear mind. The physical act of decluttering is the key that unlocks the mental space we all need to focus on what truly matters, to reconnect with our purpose, and to finally do our best, most meaningful work. This before and after shot just captures the end result perfectly. A graphic designer felt his creative spark was totally gone, just buried under client demands and old projects. But after tidying his studio, keeping only the tools and inspirations that truly excited him, he had this creative rebirth, and he produced his best work in months. He didn't just clear a room, he cleared a path for his passion. So in the end, clearing the clutter isn't about having a perfect workspace. It's about gaining the clarity to ask this final powerful question. When all the noise is gone, the physical, the digital, and the emotional baggage, you can finally hear your own voice. You get to define what success and joy truly mean for you, and that is the real secret to finding joy at work.